Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Akhanda Mandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Dhyanamulam Gurur Murti Pujamulam Gurur Padam Mantramulam Gurur Vakyam Mokshamulam Gurur Kripa. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Samaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Mahavedrishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Jai Gurudev. We are chanting Adhyaay 6. We'll start from verse 24 to 32. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Atha Shashtodhyayah. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Sankalpa Prabhavan Kaman. 24. Sankalpa Prabhavan Kaman Tyaktva Sarvana Sheshataha Manasaivedriya Gramam Viniyamya Samantataha Shanai Shanai Rupa Rumet Buddhya Dhriti Grihitaya Atma Sanstam Mana Kritva Na Kinchedapi Chintayet Yato Yato Nishcharati Manaschanchalamaskiram Tatastato Niyam Yetad Atmanyeva Vasham Nayet Prashanta Manasam Yenam Yoginam Sukhamuttamam Upaiti Shantarajasam Brahma Bhutam Akalmasham Yunjanevam Sadatmanam Yogi Vigata Kalmashaha Sukhena Brahma Sansparsham Atyantam Sukhamashnute Sarvabhutastamatmanam Sarvabhutani Chatmani Ikshate Yoga Yuktatma Sarvatra Samadarshanaha Yo Mam Pashyati Sarvatra Sarvam Cha Mai Pashyati Tasyaham Na Pranashyami Sa Cha Me Na Pranashyati सर्वभूतस्थितं यो मां भजत्येकत्वमास्थितः सर्वथा वर्तमानोऽपि स योगी मयि वर्तते आत्मौपम्येन सर्वत्र समं पश्यति योऽर्जुन सुखं वा यदि वा दुःखं स योगी परमो मतः. So we have been listening to Bhagavan Krishna explaining to Arjun what is the ideal way to meditate, when are we ready to meditate, who is eligible for meditating in order to reach the highest spiritual goal. So there are many ways to meditate, as we all know, and we have all tried also meditating in so many ways. You can meditate for good health. You can meditate for invoking the power of intention to get things from the universe. You can meditate to remove your stress. There are so many different methods and so many different reasons and so many different benefits of meditation. But here Bhagavan is only talking about Nididhyasan. Nididhyasan, you know, is the third stage of Gyan Yoga, where the three steps are Shravan, Manan, Nididhyasan. Shravan means to listen to satsangs, to pravachans. Manan means to contemplate on what you have heard, otherwise we just listen, and even before we go out of the satsang hall, that information, whatever has been given to you, is lost. So you go back, if you have taken notes, you will see the notes again. If there is a recording, you listen to the recording, and then you contemplate on it. How does it apply to me? Where do I need to work? On what do I need to work? What is incomplete? What is complete? And then when all that process is done, then you can sit in meditation. But don't forget that this very fact of Shravan Manan includes one very important factor. What is that? Purification. Chitta Shuddhikaran. Because how many of you have tried meditating? Almost everyone. So when you close your eyes and you make sure that there is nobody banging on the floor upstairs and the neighbors are not fighting and the pressure cooker is not going to go on whistle and the mobile has been switched off and the children have been put to sleep and there is absolutely no outer disturbance, what happens? Inner disturbances start rising. Yes or no? Thoughts come and some planning for the next day and some old history of so many years ago, somebody said something, suddenly that comes up in your mind, or some experience you had. So all that needs to be cleared out. This unnecessary baggage, excess baggage that we are carrying inside, all the grudges, all our avguns, and even our sadguns. Even all our good qualities need to be put to rest when you are meditating. Why? Why?
Ahankar.
Ahankar. Oh, I am so great, you know. I don't have any avguns left. All my avguns have gone. Now see how peaceful I am. This very thought of see how peaceful I am. Who is that I who is talking? That I who is talking is your ahankar. Your sense of self who has attained so much spiritual maturity and so much spiritual, seniority. So there is nothing like that. No seniority, no junior, nothing. All these are belonging to BMI. Your body, mind, intellect. That all has to be put to rest. And then when you will meditate, you will attain your highest goal. So Bhagwan has finished giving us this entire technique, and now he is going to slowly move to another topic. So last time I told you, and now I remember, that these 4 shlokas are so important that if after this I don't say anything more, it will be enough for you to go to your highest goal. And probably that's why I'm not saying anything more today. And because they are so important, at least 2 or 3 of you who were not there last time will get the benefit of these most important shlokas. Everything happens for a reason, I think, right? Good. I'm happy I made a mistake. Let's read Shlok 29 again. Okay, 29. Sarvabhutastamatmanam Sarvabhutani Chatmani Ikshate Yoga Yuktatma Sarvatra Samadarshanaha. Read the English with me. The yogi who is united in identity with the all-pervading, infinite consciousness, whose vision everywhere is even, beholds the self existing in all beings and all beings as assumed in the self. Take the meanings. Some of you have it, some of you probably don't. Yog Yukt Atma, the one who has his mind absorbed in the self. Sarvatra Samadarshana, can take it together, whose vision of sameness everywhere. Darshan, vision, sama, sameness, sarvatra, everywhere. So the one whose mind is absorbed in the self and whose vision everywhere is the same, ikshate, sees, atmanam, his own self, sarva bhutastam, existing in everything. And then what else he sees? Sarva bhutani, everything from Brahma to a clump of grass. Everything, whatever is there in the universe, Atmani, in his self. So who are we talking about? We are talking about the yogi who has attained self-realization. Don't forget that. That is the basis of all these 4 shlokas. Because you'll say, oh wow, this looks really good. I have this vision. I also see everyone the same. But the criteria for all this applies not for someone who sees sameness in everyone, but someone who has attained aparoksh anubhuti, and from that perspective he sees everyone the same. Okay. And therefore, if he has attained aparoksh anubhuti, it's already understood he has completed chitta shuddhikaran. So without chitta shuddhikaran, without purity of the mind, none of this what we are talking about today is going to be possible. So that has to be understood. So the one who has achieved this, Bhagwan calls that person Yog Yuktatma. Yog Yuktatma is the one whose mind is now absorbed in the self. It is not bhatkoing in sansar here and there. It is absorbed, it is settled in the Atma. So what is the result of this identification with the Atma? He has identified himself no longer with body, no longer with mind, no longer with intellect. He sees himself identified as, I am Atma. I am not this body. This body is nashwar. This body is transient. This body will be destroyed. It is not permanent. What is the definition of truth?
That it does not, which always existed, will exist.
Correct. Truth means Sat. Sat means that which always existed, which exists now, and which will always exist. Okay? So, if body has to be the truth, then it should have existed before you were born, but it did not. It should exist after you have dropped it. So it's going to drop. So it's not going to be existing. Therefore, body is not Sat. Truth. Mind. Mind also keeps changing. Your mind yesterday and your mind today are totally different. Your mind in satsang and your mind after satsang is also very different. Right or wrong? So that is also not Sat. And your intellect is also not the same, because what you thought of yourself as a child, you are no longer thinking of that same way now. So none of these are truth. What is truth? That which never gets destroyed. Atma. So what is the result of identifying with Atma? So whenever you do something, there should be a result. And whenever you do something, you will do it because there is a benefit of doing that, right? So let's say the children are studying well. Children study well. So what will be the result of that? Good marks, good grades, good admission into some good college. And then what will be the benefit? Good career, successful career. So there is an effort or purusharth that has a result, and this result has a benefit, right? Similarly, you can say, if I sleep correctly, if I eat correctly, if I exercise correctly, that is my purusharth, my effort. Then what is the benefit? Good health. Then what is the result? Good health. What is the benefit?
Being more sattvic.
What is the benefit of being more sattvic?
Longer life, you have a longer time.
You will reach your goal. You will have more time in this body. You will have more time in this life to reach your spiritual goal. That is the advantage of a long life. That is the advantage of a good health. Good health is not because I want to stay in this world and enjoy more things. Good health and long life is I have more time to achieve my spiritual goal. For that, good health is most important, because with a ailing body or an ailing mind or not being comfortably established in your body, to be able to see, even now doing sadhana is so difficult, right? Somebody says, keep Bhagwan in your mind all the time. Possible? Very difficult, right? Very difficult. Now imagine with an ailing body, how will you do it? Your mind will be going to your back, mind will be going to your head, mind will be going to your whatever part of your body which is not in perfect condition. So your daughter came and asked me one question on Guru Purnima. So why is it important to take Bhagwan's name? And she also seemed to know that the last thought at the time of death will determine your gati, where you will go after death. So why? I can just take the Bhagwan's name at the end of my life, and then I will go and rest of my life do all masti, maja, do whatever, and last minute just take, hey Bhagwan Krishna, and then I go to Krishna Dham. So I explained to her that it's not possible. Whatever you have been thinking, wherever your mind has been going continuously throughout your life, that is creating a footprint in your antakaran. And at the time of death, your mind will go there only. You remember that story? Dukaan mein kaun hai, right? So if whole lifetime you have been thinking of your dukaan and who is running the business and who is managing the show over there, at the time of death also, Singlakshi doesn't know this story. So this man was on his deathbed, surrounded by all his family members. wife and children and 2-3 sons and everything. They were all supporting him, and Papa, don't worry, we are here, don't. And then last breath is coming. So he is looking at the wife. Wife is also here. Son is also here. Second son, third son, all. Dukaan pe kaun hai? So his mind is always on making money. So at the last breath also he is thinking of his dukaan. So when he come back also, he will take birth in his dukaan only. So that way we have to make sure. So sadhana, benefit is what? This identification with Atma. All this purification, Shravan, Manan, Nididhyasana, all this. What is the result? Result is identification with Atma. Then you'll ask me, what is the benefit? Result you know. What is the benefit? Because nobody will do anything without knowing the benefit. So the result and the benefit is what? Firstly, your ignorance of who you are stops. That's the first thing. Ignorance of your own identity. You think you are an Indian, you think you are a man or a woman, a doctor or an engineer or a teacher or something. You think you are tall, short, etc. This is actually all ignorance, because you may have vyavaharik knowledge, but the most important knowledge, who am I, that only you don't have. So when you get identified with oneness, the first thing is, the result is your ignorance will end. And when ignorance ends, the second most beautiful thing happens. You say liberation. So liberation from what? From your dukh, from all your sorrows. That is the end of all your sorrows. Because all sorrow is directly or indirectly rooted in your false sense of self. See any dukh that you have in life, any dukh. You give me any dukh right now, I will show you how it is linked to your identification with yourself as a body. All your dukhs, no exception. So you might say, but my husband is my dukh. My mother-in-law is my dukh. My boss is my dukh. So how is it how does it come back to your sense of self as a body? If husband is dukh, then you are identified as wife, right? If you didn't identify yourself as wife, then husband doesn't have the power to make you dukhi. My boss is my dukh, then you have identified yourself as an employee. Whatever your concept is of yourself, that is the root cause of your dukh. And when you are very successful at something, you'll have more attachment to that, more concept of I'm a successful businessman. So that ahankar means what? Sense of self, false sense of self, not pride, not showing off, not boasting. That's not called ahankar. Ahankar means false notion of who am I. Okay? So ignorance will end. With that, dukh will end. Because you'll no longer be seeing yourself as XYZ. And with that comes the bliss of freedom. This Sat Chit Anand. This Anand business. That is what? Anand of freedom. Freedom from all notions of who you are. So now how do you ikshate? How do you see yourself? You see yourself as free, Atma, pure consciousness, eternal, omnipresent, absolute reality. You see yourself as the witness without getting involved in anything. That is why our sadhana of witnessing is a most profound sadhana. And it comes actually at the end of your spiritual journey, but I gave you as the first sadhana. Maybe that was my mistake. This word rishi, is there a rishi? We call our sages rishi. The real meaning of rishi is seer. And what is he seeing? He is not seeing your fortune. He is not seeing your bhavishya, ki kiske saath shaadi karega, and when am I going to get my 5 crore business. He doesn't see that. What is he seeing? His own Atma and more and more. Okay? So now he's seeing himself. You can see yourself after innumerable lifetimes of having the wrong concept of who you are. Till this birth, till this moment. Till this moment you are seeing wrong concept of who am I. When you will get this identification with Atma, you will be a Rishi. Because you will be seeing yourself as Atma. So Bhagavan says, Ikshate Atmanam Sarva Bhutastam. Not only is the Rishi seeing himself as Atma, Sarva Bhutastam. He is seeing that Atma, that is Stham, Sthita, established in Sarva Bhutani, in all beings. So the seer doesn't only see himself as Atma, he sees everyone else and everything else as a manifestation of Brahma. And because of that, the shloka says he has sarvatra samadarshanaha. He has the same vision for everyone. Getting that? Simple. So sometimes we feel that only living things which have Atma are manifestations of Brahma. What do you think? There is nothing but Brahma. So everything, living and non-living, are manifestations in a form of Brahma. Some have more Chaitanya, some have less Chaitanya. That's all. Consciousness. Alright, so he sees everything unified in the self. There is no higher, there is no lower. He knows that nothing exists but Brahma. So all the Mahavakyas are telling us the same thing. Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. I am Atma. What is that? Aham Brahmasmi. This Atma is Brahma. I am Atma Brahma. He knows that there is no separation. Right now in ignorance we feel I am one and you are another. So there is something separating us. But in reality, the true essence of who we are is one. There is no separation. And in the separation also there is no difference. There is no separation. There is no difference. Everyone is Atma and there is only one. It is not my Atma and your Atma. Atma is just one consciousness. That's it. The bodies are separate. The bodies give the notion of separateness. The bodies give the notion of difference. But if you see yourself as Atma, there is no separation, no difference in everyone. This undercurrent, this knowledge is very firmly established in the yoga yuktatma, in the realized person. See, we also know this. Now after so many years of hearing this, you also know this, yes or no? But are you established in that knowledge? So suddenly something happens, some dukhi thing happens, someone calls you fool, then you think, I'm a fool. How dare he call me a fool? Sonali, his name is perfectly Sonali. If I start calling you Manali, then you'll not be offended. You'll say, oh, Ma's getting very old, she's forgetting my name. But you will not feel insulted. Really, I hope not. But when someone calls you a fool, donkey, monkey, whatever, hippopotamus, whatever you all call, why? Why do you feel insulted? Because somewhere in yourself you are not sure you are a hippopotamus or not. So if you have that nishtha, that firm belief, that firm conviction, Aham Atma, I am Atma, You call me whatever you want, you go wear specs, you change your vision, it is your problem. If you are not seeing me as Atma, it is your issue. I don't become what you think I am. And once you get that clarity in your mind, nobody can insult you, nobody can make you dukhi, nobody can. The only dukh I think the yogi would feel is that poor guy, he doesn't still have the clarity to see people as Atma. That is the dukh. The yogi has a dukh. The dukh is that when will this person see clearly? Why this person is feeling so dukhi when he could or she could be seeing things in such a beautiful way that liberates them. So the result of being established in the self is this Sama Darshana. That is the clarity of 29. Okay, let's go to 30. These are all chotu shlokas, but very, very important. Because why is it so important to know the result and to know the benefit of attaining this goal? Because as I said, it's a slippery slope. And it's not that easy also, with so many sandpapers in our life, and every corner you turn, somebody is rubbing you the wrong way, somebody is creating issues. It's very difficult. But if you see the goal, like if you know that if I win this competition, let's say some singing competition or something, and the benefit is that I will get whatever, 5 crores of rupees, then you will work harder, you will not want to give up halfway, right? So knowing the result and knowing the benefit of that result will spur you to not give up halfway, or maybe also speed up your purusharth, rev up your purusharth, your effort. Let's go to 30. Yo mam pashyati sarvatra sarvam cha mai pashyati tasyaham na pranashyami sa cha me na pranashyati. He who sees me, the universal self, present in all beings and all beings existing within me, he is never lost to me, nor am I ever lost to him. This in the bracket, the universal self is given. I think it is when when we first started doing the Gita, what was it, 12 years ago, something like that. And people, I don't blame them also, because without any input you will think like that also. So Krishna is very arrogant, very egoistic. He wants everyone to see me. So this idea of putting the universal self is trying to tell you that it is not Krishna the charioteer, it is not Krishna the king of Dwarkas, and he's not the Sakha, he's not the counselor, he's not anything associated with BMI. The me here is seeing Bhagwan. Me stands for the universal being. Okay, let's take the meanings. Yo, the one who, pashyati, sees, mam, me, sarvatra, everywhere, in all beings, cha, and pashyati, again sees, sarvam, all beings, mai, in me, aham, I, na pranashyami, do not go out, tasya, of his vision, I do not go out of his vision, sacha, and he also Na pranashyati does not go out. Me, of mine. So in all these three shlokas, the first line, every time he is giving the same updesh of the previous shloka. Here also this line, Yo mam pashyati sarvatra sarvam cha mai pashyati. He who sees me present in all beings and all beings existing within me, is already been explained in the earlier shloka. So why Bhagavan is again repeating every time? Because he is trying to emphasize that whatever he is going to reveal now, whatever he is revealing in these shlokas, is applicable only for those who have had the aparoksh anubhuti. Those who are self-realized, those who are having samadarshana after realizing the self. Emphasis. So let's recap. The yogi sees himself as Atma. He also sees everybody else as Atma. He sees no difference between the two. He sees no separation between beings. And not only that, sameness. So what is that sameness? Substratum. The sameness means that there is a substratum, the sameness in everyone, on which names and forms have been superimposed. So if you see, space is the same everywhere. The space in this room and the space outside this room. Any difference? Any separation? Only the walls are giving the illusion of separation. Right? It's an illusion. So forms. Now there's a wall, box. Inside space and outside space. Actually is one and the same. But this form, this boundary, is giving an illusion of separateness. So all forms are giving an illusion of separateness. But it's an illusion. If you logically see, you open this space and this space. No difference. No difference. Similarly, Atma, Atma, Atma. Even outside the body is Atma, inside your body is also Atma, inside my body is also Atma. Atma, 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 everywhere is Atma. Atma is no different from Brahma. All these unnecessary forms which are there of body are creating an illusion, and that illusion is what you have to overcome. That's all. That's the only thing. Once you overcome that illusion of form, everything will be clear. So forms are just barriers to what you have to see through. Now, let us see the benefit of having this vision. Bhagavan says in this shloka, the state of bliss which you will feel, Sat Chit Anand. You have become Sat Chit Anand, right? So this Anand which you will feel is constant and stable. Everyone feels Anand from time to time. Yes or no? Even if you have not had Aparoksh Anubhuti, from time to time you do get glimpses of that peaceful state within you. Yes or no? Sometimes in bhakti, sometimes in your quiet moment, sometimes maybe you're sitting and watching the sunset and you're so peaceful and so quiet. All thoughts stop for a flash of a time and that your true nature appears to you. Yes, anyone felt like that? But it is not constant and it is not stable. So after aparokshanubhuti, that feeling aham brahmasmi is constant and stable. What happens at that moment? That flash comes like a lightning and it simply crosses the boundary. There's a theoretical understanding which you have then there's a very thin line which needs to be crossed, and when you get that aparokshanubhuti, you have simply transcended that thin line and you have made it your own personal direct experience. So the first benefit is when you cross over that anand which you have experienced from time to time, it will become a constant, stable state of being. Now, there is always a misunderstanding of this word bliss. So, some of you who have been with me for a long time, you know that I've explained this before. Bliss doesn't mean that all the time you're laughing, ha 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 ha. I'm not like a happy person, happy go lucky, ha ha ha, joking. No, Baba, that is actually rajas. That is rajas. That is not even sattva. It's not also that bliss doesn't mean also that you will never ever feel sad, or you'll never ever be worried, or you'll never ever feel anything negative. Because where do you get these feelings of sadness and all? Mind. But I am not the mind. I am not the mind. The mind is feeling sad. The mind is feeling happy. It's a condition of the mind. We'll come to that in the next shlok. Okay? So this bliss which we are feeling is constant and stable. Remember that. And because of that, very nice line, Tasyaham na pranashyami, sacha me na pranashyati. This sadhak, this yogi is never lost to me. Bhagavan is saying, this sadhak is never lost to me, nor am I ever lost to him. Very obvious, isn't it? It's very natural. See, earlier there were two entities. Right or wrong? There was Jiva and then there was Atma. There were two. But now you have realized that this Jiva is Mithya and there is only Atma. Now there are no two. There is only one. Everything is Atma. Now if there is only one, how can it be lost? How can it be separated? How can it ever be lost? I cannot go out of I. There is only one. So therefore, he is never lost to me and I am never lost to him. The knower of Brahma becomes Brahma. He has become Brahma. It is not like two things have joined. It's not like matrimony, where two become one. Unfortunately, they never become one. And over time, they become more separate instead of becoming more together. Right? So, it's not that oneness. It is a beautiful oneness. How beautiful. You don't become one. You already are one. You only realize your oneness. That's all. You are one only. But you have not recognized it. You are still thinking of yourself as someone who is waiting to attain oneness. Hello, you are already one. You are already there. So, aap khol ke dekho, that's all. Gopis, the gopis of Vrindavan, when Bhagavan Krishna left Vrindavan, they cried bitterly because they felt that everything of theirs is there, nothing without Krishna. Bhagavan is gone away and now they are feeling lost. They are feeling alone. Bitterly they cry. They can't operate, they cannot do anything. They are ruined, they are devastated. Then Bhagavan calls his best Shishya, Uddhav. And he tells Uddhav, take a message to the gopis. I have not gone anywhere. I am inside you only. We will never be separate. Don't cry. Go inside and find me. And then you will feel that oneness that always is going to be there. And after that message, the gopis get realized that Krishna is within themselves only. That longing, mumukshutva is what? Longing for union. That's what they had. That viraha, that pang, the tearing pang of wanting to connect with your beloved. Now we see it in our vyavaharik life as wanting to connect with your boyfriend, girlfriend, lover, beloved, whatever. And that pang is so difficult to bear. Can you imagine the pang of a mumukshu, or the pang of a gopi wanting to connect with Krishna? And to realize that Krishna is already within me. Then how will it ever be lost? It cannot be lost because it is me. It's not even within me, it is me. I am that. That's all. That realization has to come. Then that viraha, that disease of longing, that pang of longing goes away. What remains? Bliss. That is the meaning of bliss. That is the meaning of bliss. The bliss is no more yearning, no more longing, no more craving for union. You are already there. That is the bliss. That is the bliss. Not ha ha, he, who, joking all the time. Okay. So, first benefit is constantly you will feel that union, that connection with the divine. That is shlok number 30. Let's go to 31. Sarvabhuta sthitam yo mam bhajate kattvamastitaha sarvatha vartamanopi sa yogi mai vartate. The yogi who is established in union with me and worships me as dwelling in all beings as their very self, whatever activities he performs them in me. You can see the same line has been repeated again. The yogi who is established in union with me. Whatever Bhagavan is going to say, the first premise is you have to be established in union with the Atma. Take the meanings. Yo, the one. Asthita, who is established. Ekatvam, in unity. Bhajati, adores, worships, adores. Mam, me. Sarvabhuta Sthitam, who exists as a substratum in all things. And Bhajatyek Tvamastita, worships me as dwelling in all beings as their very self. Not only you recognize that there is Atma there is Atma here, we are one, but you are worshipping that being. What happens to that person? Vartate, that person remains. Mai, in me. Sarvatha api, in whatever condition. Vartamano, he may be. In whatever condition he may be, he will be established in me. So we know about Samadarshana, seeing the same thing. Then we also know that he has to be established in the self. He has to see that the other is also established in the self. But one more addition is given here. What is that addition? He must worship that Atma that he sees in the other. So let's see all the different benefits that are being listed in this shloka very subtly. Bhagwan is giving one guarantee here. What is that guarantee? That once you have attained aparoksh anubhuti, once you have attained self-realization, then you are free. And freedom is of many kinds. So here you can be free, do whatever you want. You are already Jivan Mukta. You are already attained liberation in this very lifetime. You don't have to wait for death to come for you to be free. In this body, in this lifetime, you are already Jivan Mukta, free. No matter in any situation, whatever worldly situation you may be. And whatever you may be doing. So someone will ask, whatever you may be doing, I'll go and kill someone, I'll go and do this, I think Rajan, you should have asked me that question. It's a question you would ask. Would a person who is yuktatma ever do anything that is not dharma? And if he does, then he is not realized. That's all. That's the way you can look at it. He will not do anything that is not recommended by the Vedas, by the Shastras. So what happens? See, you have to understand one thing. A person may attain self-realization, but he was born with a prarabdha. And that prarabdha is like the arrow which has already left the bow. So whatever karma he has come with, he is going to have to meet that karma, whether he is realized or not realized. So that karma, that prarabdha karma is going to put him into certain situations in life. No matter what, if he is self-realized, he will be able to handle that situation in a realized way. And not realized, then you will be dukhi with that situation. So even though you are realized, your prarabdha will continue and will put you into all kinds of weird situations that you have earned. Your masala dosa, which you have ordered in your previous lifetime, it's being served to you now. That's all. And it is your own doing. Right? Nanda, we were discussing yesterday in the car. Who to forgive? Somebody has done wrong to you. Forgive them. Really? They have done wrong to you? No, they are your courier, Blue Dart. They are just delivering your karma to you. That's all. If you have to forgive anyone, you have to forgive yourself for having created this karma in some previous lifetime. Now, where you will go to forgive that person? Forgive yourself right now and get on. Get on. Get on means what? Accept it gladly. Accept it gladly. Your energy will be saved from trying to resist it. Your energy will be saved from passively saying, मैं क्या करूँ, मेरा किस्मत ऐसा ही है, वो तो ऐसा ही करेगा. My life is ruined because of him, because of her, because of gender fluid, whatever. But I am who I am because of what I have done in my previous life. That's all. Who to forgive and what to forgive. Get on with it. Accept it and find the solution. Solution is what? Satsang. Okay, that's the solution. So prarabdha will be there. Prarabdha is going to put you into all kinds of situations. Now, the one who has attained self-realization, he has the freedom to do whatever he wants with that prarabdha. He can even run away from the prarabdha if he wants to, if he is realized. If you are not realized and you are running away from your prarabdha, my dear, it's going to come back with a big bang, much stronger, much more difficult to overcome later. Much stronger. Because you had an opportunity to overcome it, you did not overcome it. you stayed in refusal, denial, resistance, then you made the prarabdha put on the back burner. It's going to come back to haunt you, to make your life miserable later. Therefore, don't try to resist the prarabdha. Go through it. Go through it. But the guarantee Bhagwan is giving is, with that prarabdha, with whatever you have to go through, with whatever situation you are still going to be Jivan Mukta. Still you will be Jivan Mukta. So, worth going through it and finish. Bhagwan says, Sir Yogi, Mai Vartate, that person will be staying, remaining within me only. Merged. There is no thing of separating. So one who has realized the self, he has the choice. He can decide, I will go and live as a recluse somewhere quietly, is allowed. Self-realized person can decide, I will remain as a grihastha, I will finish my prarabdha here, no problem, still Jivan Mukta. Self-realized person can say, I will continue to do my business, no problem. Aparoksha Anubhuti has happened, do your business, nothing will happen. Kshatriya, go fight your war, nothing will happen. No matter what situation you will be in, after Aparoksha Anubhuti. That's why in every verse that line is continuously repeated. After self-realization. Jivan Mukta. Before Aparoksha Anubhuti, run away, you've had it. Okay, it's going to come back with a greater force. Okay? Alright. Then, how else can you interpret in whatever situation? You know, we have 3 states of consciousness. Waking state, dreaming state, and deep sleep. So waking state, I am always very conscious, I am Atma. What about deep sleep, when the mind is also not working, when intellect is also gone to sleep, everything has gone to sleep? The Jivan Mukta is still the undercurrent of knowledge, that Nishtha is still going on. So, you know, we say that last thought at the time of death needs to be of Bhagwan, right? So everyone says, I should not die when I'm in sleep, because in sleep, how will I have that last thought? If that thought comes to many sadhaks, what will happen? If you have had realization, whether you're in deep sleep, or you're dreaming, or you're awake, Vartate Mai, you are already in Bhagwan. It doesn't matter if you are in deep sleep, it doesn't matter if you are dreaming of the moon or anything, you are still Vartate. You're already Jivan Mukta. You're already, it doesn't matter whichever situation you may be in, whichever condition you may be, in whichever state of consciousness you may be. So many guarantees, who will give? Only Bhagwan can give these guarantees, right? And emotions, as I said, it doesn't matter what emotional state you are in. If you are still, whether you are in sansar, or whether you are isolated on top of a mountain, or locked up in some small cave in a jungle, are you anywhere away from sansar? Sansar continues wherever your mind can go. There is no place that is not sansar where your mind can go. Even the moon is sansar. Even if you make habitation possible on Mars and Jupiter, that is also still sansar. So wherever you go, that is sansar. So it's not that nobody will disturb me if I'm in the forest. Nobody will disturb me if I'm on top of the mountain. There also, outside may not disturb you, inside will disturb you, because you will be carrying all your baggage there with you if you have not cleared it. And if you have cleared it, then you automatically you've had Aparoksha Anubhuti, so then no problem, no matter where you stay. So living in sansar or living wherever you are, there's always going to be some stimuli that will disturb you, yes or no? Something will make you sad, something will make you angry also. Something will make you happy also, something will make you disappointed also. But who is feeling all that? Man. So you allow the man to do its dharma and you, Atma, witness the man doing its dharma. The dharma of the mind is to feel. The dharma of the intellect is to have notions, concepts. The dharma of the Atma is to witness whatever is going on. That's it. Whether it is an emotion, whether it's a concept. So, we give more importance to emotion. Where do you feel hunger?
The mind.
In the mind. Where do you feel thirst? In the mind. So you get cut over here. Where do you feel the pain? In the mind. You have your chocolate cake. You are feeling so happy. Where are you feeling happy? In the mind. Not on the tongue. Tongue is just a clerk who's bringing the stimulus in. It's going to the mind and the mind is translating it by going into the intellect, finding out your previous experience of eating chocolate cake. Good experience, very nice, pleasure. Nanosecond, it just goes without you even knowing itna sara process is going on. That is why you feel tongue is feeling tasty. No, tongue is feeling nothing. Mind. Same thing like hunger, thirst, pain, pleasure, emotion. All this is happening at level of mind. But I have understood I am not the mind. So let the mind keep doing its dharma. Just because you have reached self-realization, have you stopped eating? Just because you have got self-realization, not stop drinking water. You still feel some pain. You still feel some pleasure. You still feel angry. You still feel sad. You still feel disappointed. But you witness that. That is the difference. You do not get carried away by the emotion. You do not get carried away with your disappointment. You do not get carried away with your nirasha. There is no nirasha. That is all of the business of the mind. And I am not the mind. That realization has to come. Then bliss. Because you're witnessing, you are not feeling that emotion. Then lack of that entanglement. Lack of entanglement in the body, mind and intellect is bliss. Isn't it? Because you are free. You just go out of this concrete jungle now, just go onto the highway and you see some space around you, how free you feel. Feel that? Automatically something happens, you feel, so nice. Can you imagine when all that goes from here, how free you'll feel? All that entanglement, all that attachment. Bliss. That is bliss. Try it. It's too good. Okay? Even the Devtas, they say, don't have the power to obstruct your Jivan Mukti. Even the Devtas cannot do it. No Bhagwan can come and say, I have veto power. You may have got aparoksha anubhuti, whatever you want, but I will not let you go. No, he can't do that. No Devta can obstruct it also. That is the freedom. That is the power. Because you are now Brahma. You are Atma means you are Brahma yourself. And Brahma is beyond all the Devtas. Right? Alright. So now, how will this yogi, this realized person, interact with others? Because he is in sansar, right? How will he interact with others? Last shloka, very, very nice shloka, and then for the last time we will finish shloka number 32. Atmaupamyena sarvatra samam pashyati Arjuna sukham va yadi va dukham sa yogi paramo mataha. Arjun, he who looks on all as one, on the analogy of his own self, and looks upon the joys and sorrows of all equally, such a yogi is deemed to be the highest of all. Once again, Bhagwan is emphasizing the one who looks on all as one. Same. That sameness has to be there. Take the meanings. Here, he who Pashyati, now you know very well, sees. Sarvatra also you understand, in all beings. Samam, by the same standard. The one who sees all beings by the same standard. Which same standard? Atmaupamyen, as he would apply to himself. Whatever standard he applies for himself, he applies to the other. Sukham, happiness. Va stands for and. Yadi, whatever. Dukham, sorrow. Sa yogi, that yogi, Paramo Mataha, is considered the best among all yogis. Paramo Mataha. Whoever sets the same standard for himself and others, same, whatever happiness and whatever dukh he would think is for me, he sees that same thing for the other. People have double standards. This is happiness for me, but for you, you should be content with this much happiness only. Right? I should have this much happiness because I have money. I can buy whatever I want, but you should be content with this much happiness also. Or, I feel so much dukh when you say like this, but when I say it to you, you should not feel it. That's a trick of the mind. We do that. But this yogi, he says, whatever I feel is sukh and dukh, I take the same standard for everybody. So that word, Atmaupamyen Sarvatra, by comparing myself with others in the same level. Okay? He doesn't have different standards. His whatever is happiness for him is happiness for everyone. Whatever is dukh for him is dukh for everyone. Why? Why he feels like that? No separateness. No separateness. Whatever, if somebody is feeling dukh, he's got the ability to have compassion for that person. Compassion. So that is one more quality of the yogi, compassion. It is said that when you are in the presence of such a yogi who is feeling that oneness, whether the person feels it or not, it doesn't matter, but if the yogi is a true yogi and he is feeling that oneness with the other, then at some subtle level, that knowledge or that feeling of oneness gets transmitted to the other also, in the presence of that person. And temporarily also, the dukh of that person, at least during the time that that person is in the presence of the enlightened person, that person forgets his dukh and feels a sense of peace in the presence of, sometimes you feel peace in the presence of these big suns and all that, right? So how is it that you're feeling that? What is happening? How is it that you're feeling so peaceful at that moment and you're forgetting all your dukh and everything? Because subtly at some subtle level, the nishtha of the sant, that aham brahmasmi, is just transmitting to the other person, unknowingly to that person, and that person also feels at peace. So, how this happens now is not important. If you feel it, that shows that in the presence of this person I'm feeling like this. That means that some vibrations, through vibrations, everybody knows about vibrations, right? All healing happens through vibrations. All intentions happen through vibrations. And it's not that the enlightened person is sending out vibrations. It's like osmosis. It just kind of happens in the presence of the enlightened person. So basically, unknowingly, the knowledge that I am Atma, it says, how can you say, it kind of seeping out, like rainwater seeps into the walls. It's just seeping into the walls of the consciousness of the other person, makes that person feel peaceful. And that is why, because of this oneness and because of this compassion and ability to make other people, it's not even an ability, a wrong word, ability. The fact that is able to just create a sense of peace and oneness, they say this is the highest, the Shloka says, this is the highest of all yogis. Because it's able to create a sense of peace, at least in the presence of the yogi. Some people who don't understand Adhyaay, what we are talking about, being one, and they are still in the Dvait philosophy or in some other philosophy, they feel that Advait philosophy is very egoistic or very selfish, because everyone is trying to make himself into Brahma, and it's very not concerned about other people. They're just trying to make themselves enlightened. This is I have heard it also from several people. So what you have to understand is, it's an incomplete knowledge or wrong understanding. The one who is realized is seeing not just divinity in himself. He is seeing divinity in everyone. It's not a selfish thing. You have to first see it. You don't have to see it first. You have to first see it in your Guru. The one who sees it in the Guru only can then see it in himself. And the one who sees it in himself can see it in the other. So it's not selfishness that I only want to be enlightened and then I will go and live with Brahma and whatever nonsense people think. Not like that. Live with Brahma where? I don't know. So the enlightened one is seeing divinity in all, not only in himself. And not only that, he is dedicating his entire life to awaken that divinity in the other. It is not a selfish life at all. It is not a selfish goal at all. That person is not content just being in that state of bliss. He feels sad that others are also not in that same state of understanding. Because it is such a beautiful place. You go to a nice restaurant, you want to take everyone there, right? You want other people also to enjoy that food. You see a good movie, you better go and see that movie. It's so good and all. See that movie of yourself, it's very good. That's what the yogi is trying to say. Wants to share that bliss. So it's not at all a selfish philosophy. Okay? And what does that yogi want from the world? Nothing. No longer wants anything. He is giving more than he can take, because he's got the highest thing that anyone can get. So he is not at all being selfish. I'm not talking about the ones who are collecting mullah for giving this knowledge, okay? Anyone who is doing that still needs money, that means. So he is not content. The yogi who is realized is content. He may be rich or he may be poor also, but in his richness and in his poverty, he is content. He is giving more than he is taking. When someone is giving more than taking, how can it be a selfish goal? How can it be a selfish goal? It's not a selfish goal. So that is why highest of all yogis, the one who is selflessly giving for the benefit of the other. Okay. So with this, we conclude the description of the enlightened yogi, how he reaches here, that we have done earlier, what is the result of being in this state, and what are the benefits. Everything we know. We have got the goal, we have got the motive, we have got everything. Now only we have to walk. That's all. We have to do the Purusharth. What will you do as sadhana? Check these lakshyas, where you stand. What is your darshan? Is it samadarshan? Are you seeing yourself as body, mind, intellect? Or are you seeing yourself as Atma? Are you seeing others as body, mind, intellect? Or are you seeing others as Atma? Are you being compassionate towards others? Or are you seeing them as sandpapers that need to have a whack? Yeah, you feel like that, I know it. Okay, one tamacha. These are all the things which should alert you. When that anger comes up and that feeling of separateness comes, these are lakshanas which are red flags. You need to work on them and understand this person is here just to remind me of my anger which I have to get rid of. Thank that person. Thank that person. Thank you for reminding me that I am still in the body, mind, intellect notion of self. That change it, pratipakbhav. Change it. Instead of being angry, be grateful. Okay? Then, after 2 weeks, come back enlightened. Then we'll all be in constant and stable bliss. Something to look forward to. Yeah.
If someone's energy disturbs you, and you try to but it is continuously jarring and disturbs your peace, then how do you react?
Very good question. The question is, if somebody's energy is negative and it is disturbing you, then how do you deal with that? First I will give one line answer, then I'll explain it. Raise your energy. Your energy is weaker than that person's strong energy. Therefore, it has the ability to disturb you. But if your energy is higher than this person's energy, then that person's energy cannot disturb you. So what you have to do is you have to raise your energy. So find out what is it that's making one's energy feel like a victim of that person. In truth, you are Brahma. But you have not yet recognized your truth. So the ability to recognize your truth and be established in it, then nobody's negative energy has the guts, ability, strength, daring to come near you also. Then your energy only will be going out. And you will have a shield around you. That what we call that? Cosmic shield. You create that, and one can do that through power of intention. One can do it through meditative practices. You create a shield around you, like a kavach, till you have realized yourself. So you do not allow that energy to cross that boundary. We have opened ourselves. Aaja bete, aa bel mujhe maar. Come. I'm here waiting. Bring your energy. Yeah, come. No, I don't want you to come. And don't ever do the mistake I made for many years in my life. I will be able to bear anything anyone does to me. I had this notion. I am strong. Anyone can do anything. I will bear it. Why? Why should I bear it? Bear means what? Victim. And when you say, I can let anything come to me, I can manage, I will overcome, that means you are inviting more. stuff to come to you. Never go with that affirmation. It's a wrong affirmation. I am strong. Nothing can affect me. That's the feeling you should have. Once there was a story about, someone saying, I will not meditate under this tree because this tree has negative vibrations, this tree has something, this tree has something. I need this tree only to meditate. But if my vibrations are stronger, then I will change the vibrations of the tree. Why should a tree affect me? Why can't I be so positive that I affect the negative vibrations of the other? So you make yourself that which will annul, annihilate, destroy the vibrations of the negative person. That strong person I want you to be.
This connection only, if someone is keeping on saying certain negative things, then what should your response be?
Witness.
No response.
Why you want to respond? Someone is talking gibberish. What will respond? Nonsense they're talking. Then why you have to respond? Witness it. The thing is, our ego wants to respond because you want the last word. You want to prove you are more righteous. You don't come to satsang, that's why you don't understand all these things. You want to say that. You want to prove that you are greater than that person. That's why you want to respond. But know you are greater, that you are Atma, and Atma doesn't respond to anyone, no? Only your mind is responding. Only your intellect is responding. But you are Atma. Your Atma is talking from inside? No. Then why you have to respond? You are Atma. Witness. Most beautiful sadhana. You don't do any other sadhana in your life. Do this one sadhana, witness. That's it. Let anything come, let anything go. कुछ लेना न देना, मगन रहना, बस रहना, that's it. What else?
Two questions not related to today's class. Is that okay?
Yeah, everything is okay.
One is in Swamiji.
But he's bringing the mic.
During 19th July प्रवचन स्वामीजी had told, आपके हाथ में कुछ नहीं है. I was not very comfortable to comprehend that.
What was in context of?
I'm sorry, I'm not able to bring that out. So I thought I should re-listen to that and then get back.
Well, I will explain it to what I can understand. Who is doing the action that you do? You think you are doing? Your gunas are doing. And you have not yet mastered your gunas. That means you are not in control of your actions. It's not in your hands. If you have mastered your gunas, then everything is in your hands. But is everything in your hands? For example, coming here today for the class, you think you did the effort to come. But there are so many other factors that were involved in your coming here. You had to get a rickshaw, the train had to work, there was no flooding like in Pune, and something else, your children were in good health, the robbery did not occur in your house, the lift was working, whatever. So many things. That is, your prarabdha was there to come here. So firstly, prarabdha has to be there, because a lot of it is dependent on prarabdha. In spite of that, you have done purusharth. In spite of that, if your gunas are not in your favor, then also you will not be the master of your action. So maybe if I will listen to the pravachan again, and if I see the from whatever I have understood without the context I am saying, then so one more thing we discussed yesterday in the car. Sometimes going in the car, lots of discussions happen. Lots of things we do in our life, in our daily living, to attain, to earn a living, to be happy, to get a house, to get an education, to get health, many things we do. And for that you need purusharth. You need to work for that. But a lot of all this what we are trying to get is already determined in our prarabdha. So all the sansaric benefits or goods which you are trying to accumulate are already established from before you were born, that you will get it or not get it in this lifetime. So if you are not going to get your whatever 500 billion rupees is not in your prarabdha, no matter how hard you work like a donkey, you are not going to get it. And if it is in your prarabdha, then either you will get one lottery or you will get the motivation to go and work and get that. So this is all sansaric goods are there in your prarabdha, you will get it. But your spiritual goal has nothing to do with prarabdha. It has everything to do with purusharth. And our whole life we are spending doing purusharth for sansaric goals, which if you were supposed to get, you'd get anyway, and you're not supposed to get, you'll not get it anyway. And what you have to do purusharth for, spiritual goal, you're putting on the back burner, and we'll never get it. Therefore, Bhagavan and Swamiji must have also said, nothing is in your hand. Everything is there in prarabdha. But what is in your hand, your spiritual goal, that only we are not doing. Because we have no time from our busy schedule to do sadhana. We don't have time to do jap. We don't have time to do puja. We don't have time to do manan. We don't have time to come to satsang. Look at this pathetic thing. There should have not been any place for anyone to stand here. Because where you will get this? Purusharth for spiritual goal is lacking. And Purusharth for sansaric goals is very tivra. And that is not even sure with all that Purusharth whether you are going to get it or you are not going to get it. In your prarabdha you will get, not in your prarabdha you will not get. Not in your hands. Prarabdha ka hand. Maybe that's what Swamiji meant. Second question.
Second question is, once, because we are talking about all the benefits of what happens after you have attained approach anubhuti. After one attains that, is the story of oneself as to why you were born and what was your mool avidya because of which you were born, what was your earlier janam, will also that get clarified? If at all it matters.
When you know that you are Atma, where is the question of born?
As to why you took on this.
But you are not born. You are ajanma. You realize you are ajanma. So where is the question of born?
I just happened to.
Nothing. None of those questions. When the question who am I gets answered, there are no more questions left. There are no more questions left. It's immaterial. इसके ऊपर दाग आया, तो now you sit to analyze कहाँ से आया, तुअर दाल था या मसूर दाल था, किसने गिराया, कभी गिराया, what was the main cause of this dal falling on my dupatta? Who cares? It's clean now. I don't care. किसने डाला, क्यों डाला, कैसे डाला, कौन सा डाला, whatever डाला, what? Nothing matters. Nothing matters. You know who you are. You know you were never born. You don't see yourself as body. It's just an appendage which is required for my work left in this lifetime. Why am I born? I'm born to recognize myself. Why was I born? Because I was ignorant. That's all. That nothing more matters. And why you are, what was your mool avidya? So you can know now. Don't have to have aparosh anubhuti to know your mool avidya. You can know it right now. What are you most attached to? That is your vasana. That's it. You don't need aparoksha anubhuti for that. Abhi bata sakta. I'll also tell you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Jigisha.
So in continuation with the first question that you answered, isn't one's inclination towards the spiritual path also one's prarabdha from the previous karmas that they have?
It is not prarabdha, it is sanskar.
It's the sanskar.
So whatever experience you have in a lifetime, it is impressed forever in your antakaran. And one question Arjun will ask Bhagwan Krishna in Gita is that if someone has done sadhana but they have not attained the highest goal, then all that sadhana, what will happen to that sadhana? Will it all be wasted? So Bhagwan says, no, you will get birth again in a situation, geographically, historically, whatever, where you will always get an opportunity to start your sadhana at the next level. So that is a sanskar. Sanskar may be there. You will be born in that family where you will be able to continue your journey. Opportunities will be presented to you. But are you taking that opportunity, and that freedom is yours to choose that opportunity or then something which is more convenient, Shreya or Priya. So that is sanskar, not prarabdha.
So how is that different from prarabdha?
Prarabdha is karma. It's a fruit of your action. It is something that you have to pay, punya or pap. But sanskar is something that is impressed. Karma is also here only. But there's slight difference. One is a fruit of the action and one is what you are actually the predisposition, the gunas. Yeah.
So
Prarabdha puts you in different situations and circumstances where you will be forced to act.
Yeah.
And when you're forced to act, will you not accumulate karma?
Good question. So prarabdha brings you to a crossroad where a situation will be there in front of you. Whatever you do obviously will create karma, right? But what is karma yoga? Karma yoga is the way to do the action without incurring karma. How? So that is what the Gita teaches you. So you do the action without one. No doership. No karta bhav. No doership. No ahankar that I am doing. Now, to say it like this, just like Arjun, you will find that how is that possible? But that is why the whole Gita comes slowly opening one petal of knowledge. So no doership. You can write down the points and I will clarify with you what it means. No enjoyership. Means not that you don't have to enjoy yourself. No, not being stuck on a particular result of that action.
that leads to the karma.
Come, I'll tell. Then third, dedicating all your actions to the divine. Avoiding taking any action means I'm going to get karma, so I better not do it only. You cannot do that also. And fifth, doing your swadharma. If you do your action understanding these 5 points, you will not incur karma. So you will deal with your prarabdha, which is standing there, which you again have a choice to deal with it or not deal with it. If you don't deal with it, it's a choice. If you deal with it, it's a choice. But you are responsible for your actions and you're also responsible for not doing your actions. If you do the action with these 5 points, you will not incur karma. And that is karma yoga, which unfortunately we have just finished that whole karma yoga thing, but I will explain to you. It will take a fair amount of time to explain. Yes? Any other questions? So then put your books away and I'll just recap everything so that without your intellect interfering, all this will once and for all go into your antakaran. Close this. Close it. Just relax and I'm just going to recap the entire session so that it just gets established actually in your mind. Calm your breathing, relax. Relax your legs, arms, back. Be comfortable. Calm your breathing. This is the goal that you are trying to reach. The self-realized yogi sees his own true identity as Brahma. He sees everyone's true identity as Brahma. He is one with everyone, without separation or difference between all beings. His mind is equipoised, yet he is sensitive and compassionate to the pain and misery of others. He is firmly established in the self in all conditions. He may choose to live as a recluse or in sansar. He may choose to remain grihastha, sannyasi, businessman, warrior, as he is beyond vasanas. He may choose to continue performing the duties of his prarabdha without getting tainted by them. He is guaranteed by Bhagwan to attain Jivan Mukti no matter what. Even the Devtas cannot prevent his liberation. In his presence, people forget their pains and sorrows. He is the highest yogi of all. The knower of Brahma realizes he is Brahma. Om Tat Sat. Soma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Jai Gurudev. God bless everyone. Thank you for joining.